My name is Carolina from yogasanprema.com. I got a question about Bakasana and I thought I would show you how I think about the asana and how I teach it in my classes. But first thing first, what I think about the Bakasana as an asana is that it's a really great way to be playing with yourself and to losing some fear factors. But if you haven't been practicing for that long time yoga, I really recommend that you should be doing yoga for at least a year and be really safe and secure in the poses like Adho Mukha Svanasana without getting any shoulder or wrist pain in the position before starting to practice any asanas with full weight on the hands and the wrists. But when you start to do practice like Bakasana or asanas like that, you should also always be doing some kind of practice before, so you are prepared, your muscles are awakened, and your hands and shoulders are warmed up and really have the attention to be doing poses like that. And if you have sensitive wrists, you should also be a little bit warming up the wrist before you start the balances. So one option is to just be rolling the wrists or pushing the hands towards each other, changing the direction. All these kind of things are helping the wrists to work properly in the hand balances. Also to stretch the arms, underarms, both ways like this, and also start to play a little bit to coming with the weight a little bit more forward to warm the wrists up. So see, big hands down to the floor and leaning forward, and just being kind to the wrists and not be too heavy in the pressure. And when you are upwarmed and you start to practice the Bakasana, when you are really in first times try to come to the Bakasana, I use yoga blocks as support both underneath the toes, but sometimes if a student is really afraid to fall forward and landing on the face, I use the yoga block also to be leaning the forehead towards too. So it's a little bit a help to lose the fear factor, and until you are feeling safe enough to take that kind of props away. But we start with coming to the squatting, knees really wide apart. You can place the yoga block under your hips, placing big hands down, really wide fingers, grounding, placing your toes to the yoga block. And the versions of Bakasana is to placing the knees outside of the upper arm and really pressing the arm and the knee towards each other at the same time, to have really strong Mula Bandha and really strong core connection. Without the block, always the gaze a little bit forward to the floor. But another version, when you have been doing the Bakasana here for a while, and when you have find the way how to lift to the Bakasana, you can also start to find the position when you start to more put the knees towards your armpits and pressing the knees towards your shoulders instead. But first thing first, when you start to playing with the Bakasana, so just start to little bit rocking back and forth to finding the feeling that you can start to slowly lift maybe one foot at a time. And when you are ready, pressing the knees, finding the Mula Bandha and core, lifting the toes, and if it feels good, leaning forward, forehead forward to the yoga block, and finding the position here. And when you feel secure enough, you can take away the block. If you want, you can always use the block behind your hips to find the feeling of elevating in the pose. And when you feel ready to go forward in the pose, coming to squatting, placing the knees towards your armpits, leaning forward, finding the support of Mula Bandha and core, lifting the feet, lifting the pubic bone upwards to the heavens, lifting the gaze forward to the floor, and just breathing. Big hands down and breathing. So there was Bakasana in two variations with a little bit modification with the yoga props, yoga blocks. So any kind of height will do, even really thick books if you have a couple of those home. So just use your imagination of what kind of things you can use as a help in different positions. So I hope this video was in good information for you, and I hope it helps you to creating your flight with the Bakasana. I hope to see you in the next video. Namaste.